Ken Cuccinelli is running for governor of Virginia. Now he's running against Democrat Terry McAuliffe. I believe that's what his name is. I probably butchered it, as I butcher everyone's name. Now this morning, at the time of filming, this would be on Saturday, they just had their first gubernatorial debate. Now, a couple things to say about Ken Cuccinelli is that he is incredibly anti-gay. He's incredibly anti-gay, and that's among his better qualities, I should say, because he's much, much worse on a whole lot of other things. So it's no surprise when he says stupid and degrading things about LGBT people. For example, earlier he had said that LGBT people are soulless and self-destructive. He says, quote, "My view that homosexual acts, not homosexuality, but homosexual acts are wrong. They're intrinsically wrong. And I think that in a natural law-based country, it's appropriate to have policies that reflect that. They don't comport with natural law. I happen to think that it represents, to put it politely, I need my thesaurus to be polite, behavior that is not healthy to an individual and in aggregate is not healthy to society." Now, he said that back in 2009. Now, notice how this guy tends to be fixated on, oh, it's a natural law. It's natural law. Obviously, homosexuality is not natural. But then there's that whole science thing that comes in and kind of sinks that whole argument, which is a bunch of bullshit. And nonetheless, you can tell from the way that he talks that he really tends to think about homosexual sex a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a little weird.
Well, I think it's ridiculous to be arguing the natural law thing. I mean, we have airplanes and automobiles and chemical weapons and you know, all these things that defy nature, so to speak, and yet they're gonna. People like him are going to get all nitpicky about what people do in the privacy of their own home. And again, you know, there's that fascination with the gay community, even though it's laced with hatred. What is with the focus on the gay community at all? If you don't like that lifestyle, if you don't agree with it, then you don't have to take any part of it. But instead, they immerse themselves in their own lifestyle in combating this supposed enemy of homosexuality, when really, you know, it's obvious to me that it's most likely just about them having their own guilt about their own temptations and their own desires and fascination with the acts and the
when
feelings,
it comes to
and they want to make it. They want to make it against the rules for everyone so that they're not tempted anymore. You know, if everyone's forbidden from doing it, then they might be less tempted because it would be against the law. And that's basically what he's proposing, is that we should make homosexuality and homosexual acts against the law.
Oh, no, it's not just that. Oh, no, because Ken Cuccinelli is actually for an anti-sodomy law. Now, there was an anti-sodomy law passed in Virginia, and that was actually nullified by the court as unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional. But this law wouldn't affect just gay people. This law would ban oral sex, even between married couples. Could you imagine? Not only that, but the language of the law actually says, and you'll love this, but it essentially says oral and anal sex would be a felony, and this is a so-called crimes against nature law. And the text of the law reads, like I said, you'll love this: if any person carnally knows in any manner any brute animal, or carnally knows any male or female person by the anus, or by with the mouth, or by or with the mouth, or voluntarily submits to such carnal knowledge, he or she shall be guilty of a Class 6 felony.
Oh my God, man. I can't believe some of the people that live on this planet. So in other words, his wife won't blow him and he has to make the whole world suffer.
Pretty much. Now, that's a pretty good analysis right there. Pretty spot on, I would think. So this morning in the debate, he was actually, when asked about his beliefs, if his beliefs have changed, like I said, that was that speech about homosexuality was made back in 2009. When asked about that, if he still believed that way, obviously he said, "My personal beliefs about the personal challenges of homosexuality haven't changed. Once a homophobe, almost always a homophobe, right?"
But those are his personal beliefs. He's never going to pass them into law, right? It's not like he
Well,
proposed that
they
in a
did
law.
pass
I
that
know.
crimes against nature law
I know.
into law, but it got, I mean, the Supreme Court said no, unconstitutional. You can't do that. And not only that, but when you think about it, what about the enforcement angle? Are you really gonna, are you really gonna try and get into people's bedrooms and get into people's lives to see if they're having sex the way that you think that people should have sex? What about that small
cop cars
government?
outside of people's houses with binoculars staring in their window.
No. Here's NSA already spies on us, right? What the next step is cameras or drones that look in your window.
The best part about Ken Cuccinelli is that if he loses this race as governor, he's going to be a historic loser, because I don't know if you know this, but Virginia, when there's a Democratic president, there's always a Republican governor. When there's a Republican president, there's always a Democratic governor. And
No,
this guy's going to...
Here's what's scary about that, is that according to some of the different polls that had come out that I had read today, Cuccinelli and McAuliffe are actually really close. Quinnipiac has McAuliffe up by 4 points. Public policy polling also has McAuliffe up by 4 points. Roanoke College has Cuccinelli up by 6. Notice how that's the only polling organization or polling place that has Cuccinelli up by any kind of considerable margin. But nonetheless, the fact that it's that close, that really kind of disturbs me.
But
Dan, you want to say something?
I'm getting really sick of this. I mean, these bastards, there's big upset in the Mideast right now about the Sunni and the Shiite, and we're not going to have the same shit here. I'm sick of these evangelicals that represent 64 fucking million people in our U.S. population that are basically trying to tell you or me what the hell we can and cannot do. This is the problem. I'm really getting tired of it. I can't stand it.
Especially when there's so many more important things, more imminent matters to worry about.
These people do affect policy. These are the people that banned alcohol and started alcohol prohibition back in the freaking early 30s.
And, meanwhile, we've got people who are starving, we've got global warming, we've got, violence, erupting throughout our entire country. We've got policies that are putting people in prison unjustly. But, no, our legislators have to waste time and waste our time trying to take away personal freedoms that have absolutely no effect on anyone else.
Oh, no.
These motherfuckers think that freaking the rapture's going to come back somewhere between the Starbucks and Walmart.
And then Jesus is going to use his vacuum cleaner to vacuum up into heaven. Right. Exactly. But no. Ken Cuccinelli, no, don't worry. Well, obviously he's concerned about other issues, like abortion. He wants an abortion ban with no exceptions. None for rape or incest. You're stuck with that baby even if your life is in danger. Oh, here's another thing about stance about Cuccinelli. He's actually a diehard climate denier. And what's kind of funny is that half of his campaign donations come from oil and gas. Well, that's really kind of funny. And he also thinks that he's one of those people that thinks President Obama stole the 2012 election. And he probably also thought he stole the 2008 election. So I guess he's 2 for 2.
Think he's a citizen. I'm getting tired of this pro-Christian dominant white Templar bullshit.
But
I
mean, he's what you got. He's but I'm just saying, like, Ken Cuccinelli is a special man. If he loses this race, and by the way, the fact that it's close now is not good for him, because Virginia, like I said, are very anti whatever's in the White House. They always put in the opposition party as their governor. So the fact that it's close, this guy's gonna be in a history book someday if he loses as the guy who sucked so bad because he tried to ban blowjobs.
No, that's irony right there. That's irony. He's actually been described in the media as the Todd Aiken of Virginia. So that shows. I mean, you remember what happened to Todd Aiken.
Right. I mean, it's pretty. He's ridiculous. Like I don't know what to say about him. His name is Cooch, which
He's the Cooch.
I have to draw the comparison that his name is almost the Gooch, which is the, which you guys should look it up on the internet. But yeah, he got problems. He's a little touched, and he's tied up in some kind of scandal that the governor's tied up in as well. Like I don't know if you remember that, like illegal gifts or something.
Oh
from
yeah,
a campaign donor.
Here's some other. I believe that's Bob McDonnell's actually tied up in that kind of scandal. I believe it's Governor Ultrasound, as Rachel Maddow likes to refer to him as. But here's another thing about the Cooch. He opposed a 2004 bill to require members of the clergy to report child abuse. Really? And yet he launched a website, and get this, he's recently launched a website. Well, I guess I don't know if it's absolutely recently, but he's launched a website to defend his crimes against nature law with the premise that, well, I'm just here to protect the children. I want to protect the children, guys. Well, way to show it. Not only that, but he was a lone vote against a bill aimed at strengthening domestic violence protections. So he's anti-gay, anti-woman, anti-climate, anti-science, and yet he could get elected. And I know what you're saying, Sean, about how the fact that it's amazing that it's so close and that but he could win. And you know what? I mean, Virginia's had some real fun picks for office this week. You know the other pick in Virginia for elected office? E.W. Jackson. Yeah, our friend E.W. Jackson. So come on, man. Virginia, what the hell are you doing?